I'm gonna interrupt this very touching moment by pointing out the fact that Kyrie's basically wearing Crocs.
Oh, an egg is sweet.
So I've got 2 tinder boxes and 0 clue what I'm doing.
Oh gosh, this is nope. Hey.
Yeah, no, Rid is like stupid good at this game.
It's disgusting.
Then
It really is.
But Vespa couldn't decide.
I will have none of this sass from you. No, don't you come over here. You go sit right back down. That's right. You go. He's just walking in a circle. That is so fucking funny. Sit back down. You're not a dog. You can just sit down without having to turn around in circles a million times to be comfortable. Ahem. So, wow. It's really been 2 years. It literally feels like yesterday when I finally decided that, hey, maybe I should finally give that content creation thing I've been wanting to do a try. Well, here we are, and I'm still pretty proud to say that I've been streaming longer than anyone else around me probably expected, let alone me. Even though I've always loved the idea of it, I never really had the drive to do it until the pandemic hit. Are we allowed to talk about that now? Finally. I hope so, but I'm not monetized anyway. And honestly, while I've loved streaming so much, I have nothing in my life that compares to it, at least hobby-wise. I do rather love Archie quite a bit. I can't help but feel a little disappointed in myself. Now, I want for you guys to remember this is supposed to be a happy video. Just because I feel disappointed in myself does not mean this is not a happy video or a happy thing. I just feel it's important that I talk about my feelings. I love talking about my feelings. I don't love talking about my feelings. Please don't listen to me. I'm lying to you 100%. As far as everything goes, I am extremely proud of myself because when I first started, I never would have thought, even for a second, that at this point in my life, I would be streaming to 10 to 12 people, if not more, on a regular basis. Or, you know, have almost 500 subs on my YouTube channel, and we're gonna hit that really soon. I can't wait for my community tab, honestly. I'm really excited for the community tab. But it's a little different because I've always kind of been a perfectionist, and of course, in of being a perfectionist, nothing I do is ever quite enough for myself, which is a problem that I need to work out. I really wanted to end up doing more that I could have done. You guys know that I don't like setting goals that I have to rely on other people to set, so it's not like I'm upset about my viewership or my subscriber count. If I'm upset about those things, it's because I know I didn't do everything that I could do to help boost that forward. And hopefully y'all understand that. I know y'all will. Y'all know me at this point. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about, and I know that. I think that if there was anything I could have done differently over the last year, I would have actually forced myself to be more consistent. Due to some mental health issues and some other stuff, I ended up not putting out as many videos as I wanted. I ended up not even editing videos for about 6 months. Minus shorts, which are not the best, but I enjoy taking clips for shorts. I think shorts are fun. I think that the main problem ends up being when it's your only form of content and it's not creatively fulfilling, because that's one of my problems with shorts. They are not creatively fulfilling for me. At least not yet. I'm sure there's ways that they could be. But I end up having so much more fun making highlight videos, which I am working on plenty of those. Speaking of not being happy with how much effort I've been putting in recently, I've edited 3 videos in the last week. This will be the 4th one, and I'll be working on a 5th one, which is the next installment of the Ocarina of Time highlight. I have 2 of those scheduled already, so I'm pretty stoked about that. I might have to pull one to edit it some more, but I'm pretty proud of myself. I think I'm finally getting back on track to being the best gun that I can be. Now, what I can say is that in this last year, I've met some amazing people, like no holds barred, amazing, great, wonderful, lovely people. And I've noticed a change, not just in my content, but also in myself. I'm becoming more like me than I have ever been in my whole entire life, which I think is one of my favorite things about content creation. It can destroy you a little bit if you go into content creation without knowing who you are as a person, but it can also teach you so much about yourself and who you are, and I've had a lot of that over the last year. I've finally gotten to the point where I think that I don't care so much about what other people think of me or my content. Now, granted, that's not always the case. I've gotten better on the baseline for all of that, but I think it's important to remember that everybody has doubts sometimes. No one is always going to be happy with what they do or what they're putting out. And I think that the main difference between people who are only doing things based on what they think other people think of them and people who are fully sure of themselves in some capacity, even if that's not always the case, is a little bit of perseverance, honestly, because at the end of the day, only you can make your content. Other people can see it how they want, but you're not always going to be for everybody. And while I know that, I think over the last year, I've finally actually been putting that into practice, because I've always kind of been a very, I need somebody else to help me figure out what I want to do with my goals. I need some direction. I need some sort of this, some sort of that, which is honestly an almost direct result of my ADHD. I've got a very hard time of keeping myself to task. In fact, right now, while I'm recording this voiceover, I should be downstairs cleaning the kitchen and living room because my mother-in-law is coming over. But instead, I'm up here recording a voiceover because I work best when I should be doing something else. That aside, it's also been a lot easier for me in that capacity to just not care what people think anymore. My community does things that other communities consider unacceptable. My community does things that other people would never even think of doing. And that's part of the beauty of Twitch and the internet in general, is really just the fact that all these communities are on the same website but can be so different and still just as productive and wholesome as any other, which I think is one of the reasons I really prefer Twitch over basically any other website, even with its issues. Y'all hear me complain about Twitch a lot. I do it live, especially because one of my biggest pet peeves is over the last 2 months and up until about a week ago, I was in the A/B testing for the super chats cheering thing that they had set up, and I was whining about it every stream because I didn't get alerts for it. They'd pop up in chat, but my alert box wouldn't go off. Everybody was asking me questions, everybody was confused, and if there's one thing I hate having to do, it's having to explain something to people when the people who caused the change should be the ones explaining things, not me. If I'm the one who caused the change, I'm more than happy to explain it, but I wouldn't have argued if they put somebody from Twitch chat in my chat just to tell people, yeah, no, we're testing something, sorry about that, but that's wishful thinking first and foremost. As far as what I wanted to achieve over the last year, I think I've hit a pretty decent point as far as all that goes. Like I said, I don't think that I've done everything that I could have possibly done to have grown over the last year, which is something I've been working on. I do want to grow. I do want for the community to get bigger. It's not even just about me and my content at this point. It's that I really love fostering the community that we have, and I would love to bring more people to it. But I would also love more people to engage with my content. And I don't think there's anything wrong with me saying that, because if you make content, you're making content for a reason. You want eyes on it. You want ears on it. You want people to see what you're making and go, wow, I like that a lot, and there's nothing wrong with that. But to me, it's a little more layered than just wanting people to see my content. I want people to see my community and go, wow, what a nice, lovely community. Look at them fundraising money for charity and stuff like that. It's just like how Jimbo, Little Blue Elephant, for those of you who don't know, ended up being the champion, the owner of the fundraiser for Thankmas for our streaming community. I want to do something like that, but bigger and better, because I just know that we can make a difference. And I really love that. That's one of my favorite things about this so far, has been when I first started streaming, I always wanted to start doing some kind of charity content. Like, obviously, I also want to be able to make content creation my full-time job, but I've always wanted to do charity stuff. And the fact that we've managed to do any of that at all, let alone smash out of the ballpark like we have, it's pretty great. If it's not obvious, I'm running basically off of stream of consciousness because I'm rambling, and I love rambling, and y'all know that I love rambling. But I think in short, because I'll wrap this up because I don't want to ramble at y'all for too long, I'm proud of this last year. It could have been better, but that's any year, right? Anything could always be better. And that's something I need to remind myself of, and something that I want for everybody else to remember too. Everything could always be better, but because it could be better doesn't mean that you're not good enough or what you did wasn't good enough. So I think, bottom line, I'm proud. I'm proud of not just, me, but of y'all, of my community, of everybody who's been hanging around for the last year, 2 years at this point. Which is a really crazy thing to think about, because anyone who knows me knows that I don't stick to things. I just don't. That's part of it. It's part of the problem. But I think that's part of the beauty of it, really, at this point, is that I don't stick to things, but I've stuck to this for 2 years, and I want to keep doing it because I enjoy it so much. Even with the mental health breaks I've had to take, and even with all the, problems I've had, I want to keep going. And that by itself, I think, is beautiful. And of course, before I forget, I want to thank all of my mods. So, mods really are the backbone of any stream, and I feel like they don't always get enough proper recognition because they tend to be bullies. Don't they, asterisks? It's all meant in good fun, though, so I mean it. Echo, Lurie, Drea, Cake, Dementia, Steel, Asterix, thank you guys so much for all of your help. I know that I can always look at you guys and go, hey, should I do this? Hey, do you guys think this is a good idea? Hey, what do y'all think of this? And y'all will always have some sort of answer for me. And I might not agree with you, and you guys might bully me on stream sometimes, but I wouldn't trade y'all for the world. So really, thank you guys so much for taking care of my frazzled ass. With that, I'll let you guys go. I think that I've rambled at y'all enough for the evening. But, again, thank you. If it weren't for you guys, I probably wouldn't still be here doing this. So, with that out of the way, have a good night. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and don't do some of the things that I would do. I'll see you next time.